Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me set up this room real quick, and then once I'm done setting this up, we can get started. Let's see, today's June 7th. It's Monday. Happy Monday, guys. Let's get all this stuff uploaded real quick. This link sent out, and then we should be good to go. All right. That load up real quick. All right. Finish up the YouTube channel. Get the Zoom link for you guys here as well. All right, got that link sent out. Sure everything's good over here real quick. All right, let me get this YouTube link sent out as well. All right, guys, I got the link sent out. I'll give it a few minutes for everyone to join in. I'm on a little early today because I'm only going to be on for a short while. I'm only going to be on for the breakout entry, and I'm going to be signing off. I got stuff to do this morning. But let me just look at the Forex market real quick, because there's a couple trades here that are possibly available here for OddCAD. There's one entry here. It's a little bit small. It's only for about 20 pips. So I'm not sure if I'd, be willing to take this risk because it's just such a small move, and it is Monday, so volatility is kind of low. So I'll take a look at all these Forex pairs here. Obviously at 6:30, we'll be taking the breakout entry for US 30, and I think that'll be it for me today. But you guys can continue trading if you like. I don't think there's much news today. Let me check real quick. Yeah, for today, there's not really much news at all. So you kind of have an open morning if you guys decide to trade. So there's probably not going to be too much manipulation in the market. I'm not sure if there's anything really going on this week. I know we have unemployment news, some crude oil inventories, some CAD news on Wednesday. But I mean, for the most part, it seems like it's pretty open. The only main thing to look out for would probably be the G7 meetings on Friday. They go over throughout the weekend. But other than that, I think at this time, there's not really much for us to really be super worried about. But, who knows, especially with a lot of the hype stocks and, hype meme stocks and like the shit coin and whatever you guys call them. There's a lot of stuff going on with that stuff, but I'm not sure if it's really going to affect US 30 very much. So we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, I mean, good luck to a lot of people who are holding AMC. I know like on Thursday, I posted the thing about CNBC indicating that, there's an issue with AMC. And a lot of people said that it was a fluke or whatever. But I looked at AMC on Friday and it's still coming down. So like on Thursday over here, at this point over here, I posted something about CNBC about AMC. For a lot of you guys who do trade this, I don't trade this stuff. I don't trade any of these hype stocks, meme stocks, these like random cryptos that people trade. I just trade US 30, guys. So I'm not really familiar with any of this stuff. So if you guys have questions about, what's going to happen with AMC, what's going to happen with like all these random cryptos, I don't really have an answer for you because I don't trade them. But I mean, we'll see where it goes from here. It's been dropping since Thursday. A lot of people thought I was going to recover on Friday, which it didn't. I mean, it did slightly right here, but then it kept dropping from that point. So I'll try to analyze it throughout the week if possible. But, like I mentioned, this stuff's all speculation, guys. There's no real technicals playing out here. This is kind of like whoever hypes it up the most can, pump it up, but it's not something I really play around with. Anyways, going back to the Forex pairs over here, there's a couple other pairs here for odd that are pushing up. Odd CHF. We got about 90 minutes till the candle close here off the 4-hour. So I'll just mark these up in case there's a possible entry for us to take, but I'm not really sure if there's going to be anything worth taking this morning because volatility is still kind of low. Over here, Euro CAD. Here, GBP, here, JPY. See, these were a couple of good entries that I was marking up from yesterday, but I didn't take them because it was Sunday night. So I think these might have hit. So I didn't mark the stuff from yesterday. You can see they have an orange marker next to them, meaning I was going to call these as a signal last night, but I wasn't completely convinced that they were going to drop. So this did drop, played out. So I'm just glad that, the analysis played out exactly how we anticipated. Same for GA over here. I marked this up right here. I was going to call this sell, but the market was just kind of iffy last night. So like right here, for example, I had GCAD marked up as well. Looks like it would have hit TP, but then it shot all the way up. It's a risky trade. Same with GBP CHF. This could have been a sell, but it reversed completely right there. And then same with GJ right here. So I mean, if I call it GA over here, it would have been a good trade. But if I call it GC or GJ over here, they probably wouldn't play out as smoothly as we would have, anticipated. So let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. There was also a trade here that was available for NZD USD. It closed too close to the zone right there. That's why I didn't want to call it because it literally closed like right above it, just slightly right there. So if you guys are familiar with the K2SR strategy, you guys are already well versed on like how the strategy works. Basically, we look for a breaking close past the K2SR zone. We look for the momentum right here for a buy, and then we take the trade in that direction. So this right here would have been a pretty nice move. This one over here as well for GA, and this one over here for EN. But I didn't call any of these trades because it was risky from Sunday. So for this next 4-hour candle close, we have a couple opportunities here. We have this one here on OddCAD, market close, or this candle closes in about 6 minutes. So this would be one here, and this would be here for Odd CHF. But like I was mentioning before, it's still kind of, it's risky for us to take these trades here. So just looking at this right here, OddCAD might be a solid entry. Reason for that is because the Australian dollar is strong and the Canadian dollar is weak. So with that said, this is probably going to play out. The only thing I'm really worried about is that the movement's too small. It's only 20 pips. So my spread here is about 2.4. So I mean, literally, you're only going to be pushing for about 17 pips, maybe. And your spread might be even wider than this because I have a pretty tight spread on my end. So there's my dogs awake. Probably hear him growling in the background. And then Odd CHF over here, same situation. They're both kind of bullish. So it's kind of a risky trade here because we're not really sure which direction we'll be pushing. So I'll see how I feel within the next 6 minutes or so when this candle closes, and then we'll see if we decide to take that. But other than that, looking at US 30 over here, it's been pretty bullish overnight. There was a couple of snipe entries, or actually no snipe entries here, but there were a couple of 3-minute entries here that were good. So there was one right here. So as you can see, this one would have been a loss if you took this trade here, but I wouldn't have taken this for a sell because the bias on the 10-minute was a buy here, right? So like this entry right here came up at about 1 o'clock. And looking at this over here at 1 o'clock, it was already bullish. So you can see on 10-minute price was above the pivots at 1 o'clock. The trend meter was green. So I wouldn't have taken any sells there. If you matched that bias here with a 3-minute, you would have skipped this sell here. You would have taken this buy here, and that would have been a full TP right there, right? Full TP right there. And then again, same situation. If you took this one over here, It was above the pivots. It was a buy signal right there, momentum swing up. This also would have been a full TP for 250 pips right here. So whoever caught these, I think some of you guys did, because I was looking at the chat. Some of you guys did take a couple trades this morning. So if you took any of these trades here after 3 minute, they would have been solid straight TPs with little to no drawdown right there. So no drawdown on this one, and then some small pullback here, but straight to TP right after that. Same with 1 minute here. If you took any of the buys here, these all would have hit full TP. So full TP right there, full TP right there, full TP right there. For those of you who are awake during London session, if you took any of these buys here, because they would have fell under the bullish bias for US 30, like literally you could have taken any of these trades here and they all would have hit full TP with little to no drawdown. So if you go from midnight, which is midnight my time, which is London Open, and you took any of these trades here, they all would have hit full TP. So let's see how many full TPs are there. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 full TPs there. If you were taking this on the 1 minute, 100 pip move, you would have made about 800 pips there. If you took all of these trades, or if you took one, there was no losses. So just keep that in mind. So it does look pretty bullish here. So just looking at US 30 for this breakout entry, it looks pretty bullish. We have 30 minutes till market open. So until then, we're just going to be waiting for a possible entry. But looking here, everything looks pretty bullish. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots on the 10 minute. The trend meter is green. Momentum signal right here is green as well. So we have a bullish bias here on the 10 minute. Here on the 3 minute, same situation. Price is above the pivots. We have a green bullish momentum signal right there. The trend meter is also green. So this is a bullish bias here. And lastly, on the 1 minute, same thing. Price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green. And before this candle right here, the most recent one's a momentum buy signal. So that's going to confirm the bullish bias as well. So all the technicals here are showing a bullish bias. Our fundamentals aren't going to be placed yet because the market isn't open. So looking at the futures data over here, it's already up 72 points for the futures. Looking over here for the daily, this hasn't updated yet. This is from Friday. So once the market gets closer to open, this will update. So this stuff here is not up to date. This is all from Friday because market hasn't been open since that day. Let's check this real quick. There's a couple news over here from CNBC. Let's see what's cooking up for the market open. So let's see, they have stock market or stocks making the biggest moves from pre-market. G3 Apparel, US Concrete, QTS, Trust Realty. None of these are in, none of these are in the US 30 index. So they're not really all that important. Yeah, looking at this right here, it said meme stocks. Meme stocks will remain in the spotlight after wide swings last week for AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, GameStop, BlackBerry, and COS. So yeah, I don't see any of these here in the Dow 30 index. So they're not really going to be much of an importance to us. Let me just check real quick. Visa is. Okay, so Visa is one of the stocks that are listed here. It says Visa was upgraded to an overweight to neutral. Okay, so it's probably going to be bullish. So Visa is going to be bullish. That's good for our US 30. I think other than that, I don't see any of these other stocks here. Amazon's not part of it. Or actually, no, it's not. Okay, so Amazon's not here in the Dow 30 index. So the only thing that's really in this list here is going to be Visa, which is bullish. So it's going to be in our favor because we're looking for a bullish move anyways. Other than that, let's see. The Dow, S&P stand less than 1% from record closing highs. Yeah. So the Dow 30 is reaching its all-time high. So you guys got to keep that in mind too. That's going to be risky. Just turn this off down here, or I'll just zoom out from this point. So yeah, looking at this point here, like we're literally at the all-time high, I think, right? Oh no, we're not that high. Okay, so we're not that close on the on US 30. We're close to the all-time high on the S&P. So I'll just mark this up right there. Go to current price. So we're still, I mean, we're not that far from it, but we still got like 2,000 pips. So I think we're fine with that. It's not really going to be an issue here for US 30. We're still pretty far from it, but I think S&P is the one that's really close. See, it's 6 o'clock right now. Looks like we missed this little spike in price right here for odd CHF. So these are the two that I marked up earlier. If you guys remember, it's too close, so I'm not going to call them as trades. If you guys want to take them, if you guys are here on the live session, these are a couple of trades that you can take if you're looking for Forex trades. This is odd CAD right here for a buy. I discussed this a few minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago, that this was looking like a decent buy entry, but it was something that I wasn't 100% sure about, so I didn't call it right away. So if you guys want to take it, you guys can. It's just, you know, I just find it to be a risky trade. So odd CAD's risky and odd CHF is risky, but these are both trades that I was discussing about 10 minutes ago, thinking about taking and calling, but I wasn't convinced that they were going to be 100% great trades yet. But I mean, they're playing out like we anticipated, right? I mentioned that if you guys are familiar with the K2SR zone strategy, so basically this right here, K2SR zone strategy. First, you want to confirm a break and close past K2SR zone to confirm direction of momentum using K2 momentum indicator. And then lastly, enter open of the following candle. So yeah, looking at this right here, this is the same strategy that we discussed about 10 minutes ago. Right here, we confirmed a break and close past the K2SR zone. Right here, you can see this candle right here. Broke and closed past the zone below. Second, we confirm the direction of momentum using the K2 momentum indicator. Right here, we have a momentum up signal. So with that said, we take the buy right here and we pretty much ride this to the next zone. It's just a little risky because it is Monday, so that's why I didn't really feel comfortable taking it. But if you guys do want to take it at your own risk. Just make sure to use proper risk when taking this trade. Only take like about 1%. So that's odd CHF there. And then same situation for odd CAD over here. So yeah, same situation again there. Break and close past the structure. We have a momentum buy signal right here. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys want to take it, feel free. I'm not going to call this as an official trade because I'm still not convinced it's going to push up. The reason for that's because these just haven't really convinced me, right? Because there's a gap up here for the Australian dollar, for the Swiss franc over here. It's still kind of bullish. So with that said, this might just, I mean, it's bullish right now, but this might just push up slightly. And then what might happen after this is it might just come back down and then it just might go sideways or it might even come down further. So it just might do that. And it's just like, it's, you know, I only take trades that I know are going to win. That's why we have such a high win rate here. And I'm not convinced that this is a winner yet. So that's why I haven't called it as a trade. It might come back down. If it comes back down below here and then breaks back above, then maybe I'll call it on that second dip because it'll be a break and retest, right? Price broke structure. It comes down for a retest. And then it comes back up. That'll give me a better confirmation that it's going to swing up. But just looking at the index over here, I'm just not convinced because this is going up and this is going up as well. So with that said, you know, it's not really one-sided right now. So yeah, if you guys want to take that, feel free. But other than that, let me check the other stuff over here to see if I'm missing anything else. All right. So we should be good. Let's see, we have a couple questions over here. Let's see. Morning, Peter. Morning, Smokes. Morning, Kenny. Hey, Calvin. Morning. Calvin said, hi, Shawn. Can you show how to draw out the zone for the K2SR line? Yeah, sure. So, hey, Mitchell. Morning. So let me just show you real quick. Here, I'll just draw it on. Is there a pair that you like to trade, Calvin? I can show you if there's one that you like specifically so that you can match it with yours. Not sure if there's a pair that you specifically like to follow, but I can do whichever one you like to do because they're all going to be, it's going to be the same process. But if there's one that you specifically like to trade, I can just mark it up for you and then you can match it with your own to make sure that they line up. Hey, morning, Uncle. Morning, everybody. All right. So Calvin said any pair. So I'm going to show you odd CAD right here. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything off the chart. Or actually, let me leave this on. Let me go to a different pair because that one we have it marked up for a specific trade. So we'll do like GJ over here because a lot of people like to trade GJ. So I'm going to take everything off the chart real quick. 6:05. So we have 25 minutes till market open. I'll just take everything off the chart. Here is a naked chart for you here. I'm going to zoom out from this point. So there's nothing on the chart right here, right, Calvin? The first thing you're going to do is turn on the K2SR version 2 indicator. So you turn that on right there. And if you look at the chart, you have your zones lined up here, right? So you can go from top to bottom, bottom to top, whichever direction you like. I'll go from bottom to top since it'll seem a lot easier. So basically what you want to do is you just want to outline the zones here. So if the zone, this is one zone down here. If the zones overlap with another zone, you can just create one big zone. So here's one zone right there. For this one over here, nothing overlaps. So this is just one zone by itself. For this one over here, this one overlaps with this red one. So with that said, we're going to create one big zone right there. Next up, we have this zone right here. After that, we have this zone right here. Over here, we have another zone right down here. Looking at this, this overlaps with this one. So we're just going to pull it up a little higher. That becomes another zone over there. And then same situation over here. This zone over here doesn't overlap with anything. So it's just one zone by itself. Again, right here, this one somewhat overlaps, but we're going to keep them separate just for demonstrational purposes. So you can see how these are really close. You can probably connect these if you wanted to, but you don't need to. But it wouldn't really make a difference because you wouldn't trade between those zones anyways. And then lastly, this zone above here. So with that said, you turn this off and there are your zones. Zoom out and there's your perfectly drawn zones here so you can identify market structure. So just looking at this here, you can see price as it breaks above here, it consolidates. So there's a bullish move here. Consolidation range right here. Bullish move above here. Consolidation range right here. And then again, same situation, bullish move here. Consolidation range right here, right? So once you have these zones drawn up, you can pretty much identify market structure and know exactly where to trade and where not to trade. Because obviously you don't want to trade where price is consolidating and ranging. So as soon as price breaks, it's ranging right here. So if it breaks above or breaks below, you can take buys or sells. And you can turn on the momentum indicator and then you can change your bias from there. Right here, obviously we have a sell bias because momentum swinging down. So with that said, you'd probably be looking for price to break below here. And then as it breaks below here and closes, then you can take that for a sell, right? So that's pretty much it. Kelvin, I asked you what pair and you said any pair, and now you said odd CAD. All right, so I'll try to look at that for you again real quick, Kelvin. The reason I asked for any pairs because we don't have that much time right now. US 30 is going to open soon, so I'll try to do odd CAD for you real quick. But yeah, in the future, if I ask for any pair, make sure to just give me a pair. If you say any pair, I'll do any pair. But if you wanted odd CAD, you can just say odd CAD and I can do that for you. So, all right, let me go ahead and just do odd CAD for you real quick. And I'm not going to explain anything. I'm just going to go through it real quick and you'll see exactly what I'm doing here. All right. So we got that right here. And I don't mind that you guys have questions. It's just that we're short on time today. So, if you have any specific questions, like be really specific with it. So I don't like beat around, like you don't have to beat around the bush. If you want me to do odd CAD or if you want me to do odd JPY, EJ, or anything like that, just, tell me which pair. Because if you say anything, I'll literally do anything. But yeah, here's odd CAD. There's the markup for you right there. There you go. All right. So you see how quick that was, Kelvin? It doesn't really take much effort. You just pretty much outline the zones there, and there's your zones for odd CAD. So hopefully that helps. But other than that, let me just go back to US 30. It's 610 right now. So, or actually, I can look at another thing. So let's see. Onkel wants me to take a look at gold. So I'll look at gold real quick. And then after that, we're going to focus on US 30. All right, so let me just delete everything off the chart. Same situation here. I'll go ahead and draw these zones for you guys. All right. So All this stuff marked up right there. All right. So as you guys can see, if you guys have the K2 indicators, I mean, it takes out all the guesswork, right? A lot of people have problems drawing zones because they don't know exactly where to put them, or they end up putting them in the wrong places. So having this K2SR indicator pretty much takes out all the guesswork. It cleans everything up for you. And there we go. You have some perfectly drawn zones. So looking at that, I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator. Right here, we have a bullish bias because most recent signal was a buy right here. What I'd be looking for here, Uncle, is I'd be looking for price to break and close above this structure right here. Once it breaks and closes above this structure, if it breaks and closes above here, we have the buy signal there, then I would take a long position right here. However, you'd have to wait for it to actually break and close past here, because you can see that price attempted to break past it, but it hasn't had any luck. So this would be the situation if it stays that way. However, if we have a sell signal that comes up and it ends up breaking, closing below here, then you're going to take the sell, right? Because looking at this right here, this candle right here broke and closed past the structure. And if you took the sell right there, you would have hit your full TP, right? With no drawdown. Same situation over here. You can see price broke above here and we had the buy signal there. So if you took that trade right there, you would have had full TP in that direction right there, right? So the strategy is very simple. It's just, waiting for the perfect opportunity. So right here, Uncle, we're looking for a buy possibly. So if it closes above here, then you look for the buy. If it closes below here with the sell signal, then you look for a sell. But there's no entry that's available at the specific time. All right, so I'm all done with questions for now. I'm going to pull up US 30 real quick. And then we'll, yeah, I'm done for questions for the day, guys. I'm not going to, or let's see. Felipe wants me to take a look at EU. Here, I'll look at that real quick, Felipe, and that's about it. There's no more questions for today because all I'm doing is I'm going to take the breakout entry for US 30, and then that's going to be it for me today. So looking at EU over here, same situation. Here are the zones. I already drew up the zones. I'm not going to draw them up again because we don't have that much time today. But looking at Euro USD, we have a bullish signal right here. And what we'll be looking for is for price to break and close above this structure. So once price breaks and close past the structure right here, then you can take that for a buy, long position right there. And that's pretty much it for this. Unless we get a sell, like I mentioned, right here, we have a bullish bias because the most recent signal was a bullish momentum signal right there. So if we get a bearish momentum signal, then we'll start looking for some sells. We'll look for price to close below here, but currently right now it's bullish, right? So that's pretty much what we'll be looking for right here for Euro USD. Felipe. Roy said a US 30 is a risk to trade on the up. Why do you say that, Roy? I mean, if you're, I'm not going to argue with anyone with what their position is. It's just, if you're going to say it's going to be a risk, I just want to know why you think that, Roy. Because I mean, we discussed earlier, it'd be a risk if it was close to the all-time high. The all-time high is 2,500 pips away, right? So we still got a lot of room here to trade. So I'm just curious, why you think it's risky, because that's the only thing I can see why it's risky. I could also see that it's probably risky because it pushed up during London session. So from London session here, this was London open at midnight my time. So midnight my time right here. It's been bullish since London open right here. So I'm not sure if you're just joining the room, Roy, because we analyzed this for a while, about an hour ago. So I did look at this in detail, and our bias here is for a bullish move. So I'm just curious because if you think that it's going to be a bad buy, we're looking for a buy. So I want to know what your analysis is, if you do have analysis. Because I'm just curious, if we're looking for a buy here and you think it's gonna be a bad buy, then obviously we'd want to know why would it be a bad buy, just in case. But looking here on the technicals, a 10-minute, 3-minute, 1-minute, they all still show a bullish bias here. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots. We have a trend meter green, the bullish momentum signal right here on the 10-minute. So the 10-minute is going to be controlling for this opening entry. So for the 10-minute here, it's bullish. Looking at the 3-minute, same situation. Prices above the pivots. The trend meter is green. Bullish momentum signal right here. It's bullish on the 10-minute, 3-minute. And then on the 1-minute right here, it's slightly pulled down right here, but it's starting to push back up. So prices above the pivots. Trend meter is green. We have a pending buy signal right there. So everything looks good for a buy on my end, Roy. So everything here on the technical side looks bullish. Looking at the futures data over here, it's also bullish. It's up 72 pips on futures data. Looking at the news over here, because we analyze this completely, Roy. So I'm not sure if you're just saying that it's risky or if you have an actual reason why you think it's risky. Visa over here, it's upgraded from overweight to neutral. So pre-market, it's already up 1%. The Visa stock is located in the Dow 30 index right here. So with that said, we already have one stock that we're anticipating to be bullish. The other ones here on the list aren't listed, so we're just going to ignore that. And other than that, I think that's about it. I don't really see anything else here that's really affecting US 30 directly. The G7 meeting. So last weekend, they had the G7 meeting. They reached a global tax reform deal. So if they speak today, then yeah, that's going to affect the market. But I mean, other than that, I don't really see anything else that's really, indicating that there's going to be any crazy movement this morning. So yeah, Roy, I mean, if you have any input on that, we can take a look at it, or I can analyze whatever you have. But I mean, from my perspective, it looks pretty bullish to me overall. But we'll have to wait and see when the market opens, because, like I mentioned, the market hasn't opened yet. So we don't have any actual data from this current week. But everything's pointing upwards to me right now. Hey, Peter, how's it going? Peter, say, hey, Shawn, everything good, bro? Yeah, no, everything's great, dude. Everything's all right. I just got some stuff to do today. So I'm going to be on for this breakout entry. And then after that, I'll be logging off because I got some stuff to do this morning. So I'm just going to be taking this breakout entry if it's provided. If there's no breakout entry available, then obviously I'm going to skip that. But you guys can keep on trading, even though I'm not on the live, because looking at the news this morning, there's not really much today. There's just consumer credit at noon, but we usually stop trading at that time anyways. So it's not really going to affect us, and it's light news. I don't know if you guys have any other news events that are possibly going to affect the market in mind, but I don't see anything on my end. Looking at the CNBC page over here, I don't really see much here either, really indicating anything crazy going on. I mean, there's other stocks that are being affected, and they're also talked about stuff with like a lot of the meme stocks and stuff like that, but we don't trade any of that stuff, so it's not really affecting us at all. But other than that, let's see if there's anything else. What's up, Miles? Yeah, Miles, I'm doing good. Weekend was great. I have a lot of family in town this weekend, so I spent time with a lot of my family. So it was cool. That was a chill weekend. Nothing too crazy. Let me see what Jeff said. Okay, so Jeff said Yellen. So Jeff gave me some news update. He said U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen, historic relief to restore full employment in 2022. U.S. economy is transitioning to a pre-pandemic state. Nice, Jeff. Yeah, so if that's the case, then that should be bullish for us on U.S. 30, which will continue to push it higher and higher. Let's see. Nice. Cheryl over here. She's been trading. So Cheryl's been trading since London Open. She's up 2,803 for this morning. So nice work, Cheryl. She was trading UK 100s. Like I mentioned, you guys don't have to wait for me to take trades. If you guys know the strategies, or if you guys want to learn the strategies, you guys can trade on your own. And here is Cheryl's profit for this morning. She traded UK 100 and DAX 30 because she traded London session. And if you guys want access to the indicators to pretty much apply these strategies on your own, you can go on the website, k2trades.com, click on K2 strategy course right here. And that's how you'll get access to the indicator so that you can take these trades on your own time. So Cheryl over here, she's up pretty nice, 2,800 to kick off the trading week. Mark over here as well. He trades on a smaller account. He's up $14. So it doesn't matter if you have a big account, small account. It's you guys can still profit with these strategies here regardless. So Jeff said, if the market went apeshit on bad employment, let's see what it does on full employment. Yeah, exactly right, Jeff. It's probably going to be it's probably going to push price around as well. Tariq over here as well. So Tariq, he was trading during London session, looks like. He traded US 30, took all the buys that I mentioned earlier, and he locked in 391 for the day. So he's traded US 30, NZD, JPY, all straight wins this morning. So like I mentioned, if you guys have the indicators and you guys know how to do this on your own, you guys can easily profit taking your own trade. So looking at the 3-minute here, straight wins, right? So if you took all the trades here for US 30 during London session, literally so London session was right here. Let's mark it up. If you took any trade here during London session, so London was here at midnight my time, London open. So if you took any trade here, like literally any trade, you probably would have skipped the sells because the bias was for a buy. So you would have skipped this one here, even though it would have won. I mean, if you were risking, you wanted to take it, you would have taken that and would have made profit. But if you didn't, you would have just waited for buys, because the bullish bias was here on the 10-minute. So you would have only taken buys here on the 3-minute. So like looking at this here, if you took this buy right there, full TP. If you took this buy right here, full TP as well at 250 pips, if you're following, our actual TP range right there. So full TPs for both of those right there. Or if you trade it on the 1-minute, same situation here. There's all of these buys here that you could have taken from midnight. So market opened over here. And if you took any of the buys right here, all of them would have hit full TP. So full TP right there. I think there's another one right here. So yeah, full TP off that one. Full TP off this one. I think this is what Tariq took. So Tariq took, because he had a bunch of wins there for US 30. So he took all of these right here, which they all hit full TP. So one right there, one right there, one right there. There's like a lot. I think there was like 8. If you guys rewind the replay, we went over this before market open. So there's about 8 wins here that you could have caught if you took any of these trades. And looking at Tariq's trades over here, he took about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he took 9 US 30 buys right here, and they all hit full TP. So it looks like he took every trade during London session right here, and they all hit full TP. So nice work, Tariq, for you guys over here. All right, cool. Yeah. So all of these right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, Tariq took all of these wins here, and that's how he locked in all these profits right here, straight wins. Steven over here as well. Steven's up 2,180. He took a sell for gold, a sell for Euro USD, and then a sell for US 30 as well. So nice work, Steven. Looks like he took these. He didn't take these trades right here specifically, but it looks like he took the drop as it came back down. So you did pretty good. Yeah, Eunice said there's another entry here for US 30. There's another entry here, but it's not something that I would take right now, Eunice, because I mean, if you wanted to take it, you could have. But the reason why I wouldn't take it is because market is going to open in about 7 minutes. So I think it's too risky to take it right now. There's just too much risk involved. But if you did take this trade here, I mean, it's currently running. I just personally wouldn't take it because of market to be opening in a short period right here in about 7 minutes. Yeah, I think it's risky, Eunice. I mean, if you wanted to take it, you could have, but yeah, you did spot that perfectly fine. So here, Eunice did spot this buy here. This would be a buy here for the 1 minute. And then again, right here, there's another buy that's available right here as well. So yeah, risky trade, but yes, definitely you spotted that on perfectly, Eunice. You're on point with that entry right there. I'm just going to wait for it to open. Market opens in about 6 minutes. We still have a bullish bias over here for the technical side. So everything here is bullish on the technical side. The only thing that we're looking for next is this hasn't opened yet. This is still pending. So this data hasn't updated, but looking at this here, we want this to be majority bullish for us to take this trade here. So this data is from Friday. This hasn't updated yet. As we get closer to market open, it's only 6:24 right now. About 6:29, it'll change. It'll turn all black and say unchanged here like this. And that'll be pre-market. Looking at the futures data over here, the futures data is bullish. So everything's looking pretty bullish overall at the time being. So let's see, let me scroll down over real quick. Dominic said, do you think US 30 is going to a new all-time high? Yeah, Dominic, eventually it will. I don't know if it's going to go up today, but yeah, if you guys have been following me from earlier this morning, I marked the all-time high, which is right here, Dominic. So we're still about 2,500 pips away from the all-time high. So it's got a ways to go. I don't know if this is going to break today. It might break today. Who knows? It might not. We don't really know until it happens. But it's still got a ways to go. I think it'll be enough for us to push to take our breakout entry if it does, if it does qualify as a breakout entry. But looking at the all-time high, it's still away about 2,500 pips. So we got some time until it reaches that point. Neptune said, "Does news matter for US 30 during London session?" I mean, news always matters, Neptune. I mean, US, but the thing if you're trading during London session, like if you're trading last night, the market hasn't fully opened yet. So the actual stock market wasn't open. The futures market was open, but the stocks that are within the futures market, they haven't opened yet. So there isn't really any real, there isn't really anything pushing it at that time, like not actual stocks within the index since the market was closed. But I mean, there's a lot of pre-market news that would push it, but I don't think there's anything other than that. Because if you're trading during London, it's not going to be US news, right? Unless there's something that happens like randomly, because the US news happens during US time. If there was news during London, it would be like European news. And the thing with the US 30s, it's a US index. So, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I guess it would affect it, but it wouldn't. I mean, there's different things that would affect it or not. Neptune. So you kind of have to be a little more specific, like what kind of news are you talking about? Are you talking about some big economic news? Are you talking about something that's specific to the EU, something that's specific to the AU? I mean, you got to be a little more specific with like what type of news you're referring to, because if it's something that affects US, then yeah, obviously it could affect it. But if it's like Canadian bank is closed, I don't think it's going to affect US 30, right? So you guys got just be a little more specific with like whatever you're asking for, Neptune. Because like right here, for example, Wednesday at 7 a.m., the Bank of Canada rate statement change, right? If this was during London session, this probably wouldn't affect US 30. But if it's something like, I don't know, honestly, I can't really find anything here that would affect it. But if there's something like the prime minister of like the UK is like saying something, then yeah, that could affect it. But I wouldn't say something like the Bank of Canada bank being closed would affect the affect US 30 necessarily. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So Neptune just he just confirmed. He said, understood. I was talking about EU news, but like I understand now it wouldn't affect it much. Yeah, exactly. It just depends on what we're necessarily looking at. Shaqui's asking what's full TP mean. Full TP means full target profit. So like TP just stands for target profit. So full TP means that you've hit your full target. TP1 means that you hit your target profit one. TP2 means you hit your target profit two. So guys, going back to US 30, markets opening in about 2 minutes. We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Everything's bullish here on the 10-minute, 3-minute, and 1 minute. So the only thing that we're looking for right now, so here on the 10-minute, it's bullish. So all the technicals here are showing a bullish move. It's bullish here on the 10 minutes, bullish here on the 3 minutes, bullish here on the 1 minute. The last thing we're looking for here is for the fundamentals to confirm that bullish move. If this opens all green, then we can possibly take this and then we'll be good to go. But other than that, I think that's about it. So market's about to open right now in about 1 minute. All right, we got 50 seconds left until market open. And I'm ready to get this going, guys. All right. All right, so it's pulling down a little bit, but we'll see what happens when the market actually opens. Market's about to open right now. We got 30 seconds left. We already have a bullish confirmation for the technical side. We're just looking at this now. This is going to be the main thing that we're waiting for here. All right, so it's dropping right now. We'll see where it goes. This is pre-market drop, and then it just might skyrocket up, but we'll see where it goes from there. We're just not really sure what's going to happen because the market's, it's barely opening for the weekend. So we got about, let's see, 4 seconds. I'm just going to mark this up right here so that we have this. There we go, that bullish move. All right. So looking at the technical or the fundamental side over here. All right, it's not fully open yet. Just gonna keep refreshing this. All right, so it's pretty even right now for the most part. Let me just refresh that again. For the most part, it's pretty even. Looking at the index right here, we're up 62 points on market open. So the fundamental side hasn't really confirmed it just yet. I mean, it's still pretty bullish, but it hasn't really confirmed it just yet. So we're not going to be taking this entry yet. We got to wait for the confirmation. So this is why we don't take entry right when market opens. We wait for that confirmation. Looking at everything over here, obviously it's a spike down. This usually happens. You'll see market manipulation on the opening candle. So like right here, this is all just price spiking, you know, in one direction. But looking at the index over here, we'll see what the bias is. So looking at the bias over here, bias is still bullish. So it's not very strong, but it is still bullish. It's up 32 points right now, but it is dropping. So this is why we don't take the opening candle. We wait for that confirmation. So nothing yet. Still waiting for this to play out. We got 8 minutes left on this 10-minute candle. This 3-minute candle, we have about 1:30 left. And then on this 1 minute over here, it's already dropping. So just looking at this here, we need this to swing above here before we take any buys. We're not taking any buys yet. We need this to swing all the way up here. And then we need a bullish momentum signal in order for us to take that buy. Mondays are risky. This is why we wait for that confirmation before we take the trade, because looking at this here, it still hasn't confirmed its direction, right? It's only up 30 points right now. So in order for this to be a bullish bias for the fundamental side, it needs to be above 100 points. So once this goes above 100, then our bias will be confirmed. But right now it's just bouncing back and forth. Obviously you can see here, it's really, this is all based off manipulation right now, because right here it's bullish. Like, you know, all the stocks are green right here. Well, majority of them are green. So looking at this here, they're majority green. But looking at the actual charts over here, it's dropping, right? So with that said, technicals usually follow the fundamental side. So this is normal right here. The reason for this is because a lot of people are anticipating the bullish move, but you know, on market open right here, they spike price down, and then a little later, they just spike it all the way back up. That's why you got to wait for the confirmation before we take it, because we need the fundamental side and technical side to match before we take any trades. So it's fine. Just looking at this right here, if it shifts to the sell side, that's completely fine. We can start looking for some sells. But looking at this currently, I don't know if this is really going to hold, because this can easily just reject off this pivot right here, or any of these pivots here, and then it can just bounce all the way back up because it is at a support currently. So just keep that in mind. It's just going to take some time. It's 6 minutes right now in, or I mean 6 minutes remaining off this 10-minute candle. But we'll see what happens from this point. We're not going to hop in just yet, even though it's starting to reject off this point. You guys can see the manipulation right there, right? It dropped, let's see. Price dropped about like 500 pips. And then here we go, huge wick off the bottom. You don't want to get caught in any of these traps right here. They're basically trapping sellers, because what they did is they dropped price here and they made people think it was going to drop. But looking at the fundamentals over here, it's pretty green. So like, why would it drop, right? It makes no sense for it to drop. The actual index here, this is what it's based off. US 30 is based off this index. So if this index is green, it makes no sense for it to drop, right? So don't get caught in any of these traps here, guys. You guys have to tie in fundamentals and technicals. If you just go off technicals, you might get caught in some traps. If you just go off fundamentals, you can get caught in some traps as well. You have to make sure that they align before you hop into any of these trades. So looking at this right here, obviously it's going to keep dancing around this area. We have about 5 minutes left on this candle. If this happens right here, where it closes like this, where there's a nice wick rejection off this pivot and the structure, this is going to be an entry using the K2 snipe strategy. So with that said, I'm going to enter here for a long position at this bottom, and I'm just going to write it on up. But yeah, we have to wait. We don't have that confirmation for the next 5 minutes. We have to wait for this to actually close. And then from that point, we will figure out where to go from there. So let's see. All right, 1 second. So looking at it right here. All right, we got 4 minutes left. Let me go back to the fundamental set over here. As you guys can see, it's not really pushing in one direction or the other, right? It's just dancing around this area right here. It's at 32 points. It hasn't really pushed up above 100. It hasn't pushed below 100. It's just around that point. But looking at everything over here, this is still pretty green. You know, looking at the stocks right here, these stocks outweigh the green stocks outweigh everything else. So like I mentioned in the morning, you guys remember Visa, right? I mentioned Visa is going to be green. It's super green right now. It's carrying the entire index. So everything that we analyzed pre-market is playing out exactly how we anticipated. It's just going to be a matter of time until we have this confirmation here. I'm not ready to enter until this goes above 100 points, and that might not happen anytime soon. So we just got to wait for that to confirm, because if that's the case and it starts shifting to the downside, then the bias is going to shift from green to red. We're going to start looking for some sells instead of some buys. But we really won't know until this candle closes, because it can bounce around for the next 4 minutes. And then once this closes, it'll give us the hint whether it's going to be, a buy or a sell. So anyways, looking at this here, it's starting to shift down, but you don't want to get caught in this trap if it ends up shifting all the way back up from there. So there's no entry here for the breakout. I'll be on for like a few more minutes, and we'll be looking for a possible buy. A possible buy or sell off the scalp side. Because right now everything's looking like it's starting to shift downwards, but we're not really sure until this candle actually closes. It's about 6:36. We have about 24 minutes until we move away from the breakout phase. So yeah, just sit tight, guys. You guys need to be careful and don't follow any of this. Don't follow any of this manipulated move right here, because obviously you can see right here the index is still green. So what might happen is it might just slingshot up. What might happen here is like you'll wait for this to come down, and then all of a sudden this will just skyrocket back up to where it's supposed to go, because it's green right now. So if it's green, this should be going up. However, it's coming down because price is starting to push down, trying to basically squeeze out all of the people that are in for a long. Let's check out the IG sentiment. 64% of retail traders are short right now. It looks like a lot of people hopped into that hype. So they saw that hype where it came down, and then a bunch of retail traders entered into a sell, right? You don't want to be any of these traders right here, because these people are most likely the ones that are going to get trapped. Just looking at this here, if there's more retail traders right here on the short side, they're probably going to keep luring in more sellers. They just want to lure some more people in for this sell, because obviously if you don't know how to analyze this from the fundamental side, if you saw this drop right here on the 1 minute, what would you think? You see this drop and you're like, oh, I'm going to hop into the sell right here because it's dropping, right? But what they're going to do is you're just going to keep, they're going to keep loading up sells right here, like a bunch of people entering some sells, and then all of a sudden it's just going to skyrocket all the way up. So just keep that in mind, not to get caught in any of these traps here. But if it shifts down and the confirmation is for the downside, then yeah, obviously we'll be looking for a sell. But right now we're, the bias here is still for a buy. Looking at the index over here. So this index over here is, let's see. Yeah, it's still up 37 points. You can see it's starting to shift up, right? You don't want to get caught in those traps. Looking at the rest of the indexes over here, everything's pretty green for the most part. Dow Jones is up 40 points. S&P is up 0.81 points. NASDAQ's down 12 points, but that's fine because NASDAQ moves opposite, or it doesn't move opposite, but it doesn't move the same as the Dow or S&P because these are tech stocks. So Dow Jones is up, S&P is up, Russell 2K is up, the VIX is up as well. Everything looks pretty bullish overall. And there you go. See that trap right there? If you guys hopped into that sell, you would have gotten trapped in that sell right there. And then you would have been screwed because it's going where the fundamentals are going, right? Fundamentals are green. So where the technical is going to follow to the upside. So don't get caught in those traps, guys. This is why we're waiting for that confirmation before we hop into these trades here. So we'll see where it goes from this point. Obviously, you can see right here. If you guys want to take the snipe entry right here, you can. It's going to be a risky trade. So do keep in mind that if it reaches halfway mark, 250 points or 250 pips to pull out, right? So looking at this right here, you can possibly enter this for a buy if you wanted to. But just keep in mind that it's going to be a risky move. So this candle is about to close shortly. Let me just look at the index real quick. Index is up 42 points. So this would be a snipe entry. This doesn't be like at your risk trade. If you want to take it, but just keep in mind it's going to be risky. All right. So there's the snipe entry right there. I'm actually in this trade right now. So let me see. If it reaches this point right here, this might be an area to pull out. So what I'm saying right here is if it reaches this point right here, so I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about this. So if you're taking this trade, make sure if you do take it with a smaller lot size or take it with smaller risk, depending on what your risk is. But what I mentioned about this right here is if price comes up to this point and then say it pulls back, right? Say it goes up to that line right there and then it pulls back, then I'm going to manually exit out of this trade because it's still too risky right now. But this would be a snipe entry right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some alerts right here just so that I can be following it. Where's my volume at? There you go. So this is going to be TP1, snipe TP1, 250 pips. We got that right there. And then above here as well. Another alert set there. All right. So I got the alert set up right there. Let's get this going over here. And this will probably be my only trade because I got to do some stuff this morning, guys. So I'm probably not going to be on. So after this trade right here, I'll probably be logging off, or I might be logging off a little earlier. Let me just see if I could follow through with what's going on over here. Fundamentals are still pretty bullish. It's up 50 points right now. It's starting to push up to where we were anticipating it to push up. See, that looks good. I mean, Walgreens is still unchanged. I guess their stock hasn't opened yet. I'm not sure why. But yeah, I mean, this is the only thing running. So I think this is it for today, guys. I'll try to stay on for a few more minutes, but I do have to log off. I have plans for this morning, so I won't be on for the morning session. This is pretty much all that I planned on taking. Let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. Nothing here on the 3 minute. Looking here on the 1 minute, nothing here either because price is below the pivots. So if you guys want to continue trading, you guys can. But just keep in mind that today is going to be a little risky. So if you guys do plan on continuing trading, make sure to use proper risk and to follow closely. I'd recommend that you follow closely with the fundamentals over here to make sure that this pushes above, because what you'd be looking for is for this to be above 100 points. If it goes above 100 points, then yeah, you want to be trading for a bullish move, but the bias right now hasn't really confirmed. So it's just bouncing back and forth for the, for the most part. But yeah, I think that's it for now, guys. So yeah, sorry, unfortunately I have to log off soon. I have some stuff to do this morning, so I'll be trading very much today, but tomorrow I'll be back to a normal schedule. So this is just for today, guys. Just keep that in mind. This is just today for Monday, but tomorrow I'll be back to the normal morning session. And then for the rest of the week as well. But yeah, I think this week should be good because looking at the news this morning, this week, there's not really much that's on calendar. We have, it's just this news at noon today, which is light news. Tomorrow, all light news. Wednesday, some Canada news, and then some US news. So Wednesday might be the only really risky day for us. But other than that, I think for the most part, this week will be pretty smooth for us. Unemployment data on Thursday, which is fine. So just Wednesday, Thursday might be a little risky, but today and tomorrow should be pretty fun for everyone here if you guys decide to continue trading. So I think that's it for this morning, guys. If you guys have any questions, you guys can send me messages on Telegram or email. But I probably won't be getting back to you guys until Asia session later today because I'll be busy all morning up until afternoon. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in the inbox, and then I'll get to you guys later today when I'm available. So other than that, thanks for showing up to this session, even though it was only for a few minutes. But my position is running in profit right now for this US 30. I still have it running, and I'll try to give you guys some updates as obviously as we continue on. So I'll catch you guys later, and I'll see you guys during the Asia session. Maybe I'll go live later, but who knows? Maybe not, maybe so. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and then have a great morning, guys. Be safe. Use proper